This is our unseated 5K for the boys. Jack Baisley of New Jersey is hip number 1. Matthew Bradford, an all-stater in track and cross country from West Virginia, hip 2. Ben Barrett of Norman, Oklahoma, hip 3. Joseph Andrews of Maine, hip number 4. Kyle Broderick, also of Oklahoma, in hip number 5. And we see they are closely packed together through this first 200. Jake Feinstein, Sandy Hook, Connecticut, hip 6. Nicholas Tuck of Virginia, hip 7. Stephen Garrett of Delaware, hip number 8. Asher Smith Rose of North Carolina, hip 9. Connor Doyle, Massachusetts, hip 10. Tyler Hensler, Rhode Island, hip 11. Ryan Graff, West Virginia, hip 12. From Connecticut, Zachary Williams, hip 13. From Texas, Nate Sullivan, hip 14. From Georgia, Daniel Navarro, hip 15. From New Jersey, Eric Franklin, hip 16. From Ohio, Tom Clark, hip 17. From Pennsylvania, Brent Kennedy, hip 18. And hip number 19, from Rhode Island, Trevor Crawley. Out right around 70 seconds. Quick pace. And they're all together. The times from these gentlemen in our unseated section would be competing for championships just a few years ago. Up in front, Matthew Bradford. Along with hip number 23, Foster Drew of Massachusetts. Vincent Tadaro is hip 20 from Pennsylvania. William Ranchetti of New York is hip 21. Colin Tierney, Rhode Island, hip 22. Mac Haight of Virginia, 23. Fossa Drew, we mentioned, Peabody, Mass, is hip 24. Noah Gady of Oklahoma, hip 25. And Stephen Strahler, Virginia, hip 26. Alex Kramer of New York, rounding out the field, wearing hip number 27. Coming up on the kilometer split, 2.5 laps in. 1/5 of the way done. And no significant change accomplished from the way they were lined up on that waterfall start line. They're all still quite close together. Mac Haight of Virginia, Noah Gady of Oklahoma, 1-2. Right at 3 minutes flat. Beginning to spread apart just a little bit. Still a pack though, with Mac Haight, Vienna, Virginia, the junior out in front. Noah Gady, Stillwater, Oklahoma, running in second. Lots of competitors not far behind. .1600, a familiar split time for many in the stands. We'll try to get you an estimated split time there. .443. So they're really pretty steady. The first lap of 70 is 440 pace. 3 laps later, they're at 443. That's not much variance.
Well, as in the girls' race, David, what will be interesting now is to see it's whittling down slowly but surely. And now it's the question is, will someone really force the pace? Someone's going to be ready to do that.
Tom Clark of Mason, Ohio is on the inside, along with Vincent Todaro of Newville, Pennsylvania.
Under 8 to go, David.
2 kilometer split coming up. 3 minutes for that first kilometer. We'll see how they stretch out now. Mac Haight, the junior from Vienna, Virginia, showing the courage out in front. 2:56.5 for that kilometer. 5:56.6 overall through 2K.
Joining us just across the way here, look, here's our good friend Mr. Larry Rawson. Last week he was in Oregon covering the NCAA Championships on ESPN. I was watching avidly, Larry, and great work as always. It's good to have you with us. Mr. Larry Rawson, ladies and gentlemen.
Give him a hand, folks. Matthew Bradford from Charleston, West Virginia, also a junior now going to the outside. He's wearing hip number 2. He has a lot of pep in his step right now, and he is moving up and challenging for the lead. At this point, Mac Haight relinquishing the lead for the first time in many laps. As Matthew Bradford, Charleston, West Virginia, takes the lead. As they come around past the scoreboard and get onto the home stretch, when they enter that home stretch, they'll be at 2,500 meters. An unofficial halfway split we'll try to get for you. Give you a flavor of where the race stands overall. .7:30, right on 15-minute pace, just as they were at 1 kilometer. I have a feeling though, Ian, some of these gentlemen have a little bit more left in them than just keeping this steady pace.
Yeah. You know, I'm a big cycling fan. I was watching the Tour de France in the peloton, and I'm waiting for one of those sort of moves.
Matthew Bradford out in front. Noah Gady of Oklahoma in the orange, running in second.
The yellow jersey's in 9th place, David.
He doesn't have teammates to help him here, though, Ian. They're all on their own. And now the pace appearing to slow a little bit. The pack regrouping on the back stretch.
And that's letting them in, isn't it? That's concertinaed up now, so that's let in another 5, 7, 8 competitors.
Yes, they're in it. It went to just a lap ago. They were single file at that point.
Who's going to be brave? Who's going to say, come and get me?
3 kilometer mark coming up. We can see up on the screen a little bit of action in the pack. Step off.
Archie-barchie, some of us would call it.
At 3K, Noah Gady, 9:03. So the pace is essentially the same, slowing just slightly. It's been about 3 minutes per kilometer. And that's right after they picked up in the second kilometer. Ian tells me now they're up to 3:07 for that kilometer.
We've gone 3, 2:56, 3:07.
And that's why we're all back together in that group. Mac Haight losing patience with others leading, and Reed takes the lead. Mac Haight, the junior from Vienna, Virginia.
It had to happen, David. Someone had to say enough of this. Let's find out who can go with me. Now they are stretched out.
Joseph Andrews of Maine now up at that lead pack, as is Brent Kennedy of Pennsylvania. Noah Gady running in second, Matt Payton in first. Gady now from Stillwater, Oklahoma, out on Hate's shoulder. Back where we were about 4 laps ago in terms of who's leading.
And under 4 to go, David. As they came by that last time, you could see the sweat glistening on their foreheads and their shoulders.
Oh, they're putting in the effort here, and there's no doubt. These guys are working it.
Wow, who's going to make the next move? You know, Eamon Coghlan always said to me, in a mile race or a distance race, you make one move, but you make it count. Marcus O'Sullivan also shared that same. Well, they both went to Villanova.
As did Red Preston.
Here's the yellow singlet coming up.
Brent Kennedy on the outside. Matt Payton, Noah Gady, Joseph Andrews among those leaders.
Now I'm thinking there's another move coming, David, because they're concertinaing back again. Coming up to 4K, is it?
Brent Kennedy, the Pennsylvanian, to the lead for the first time. .12:07.2. 3:03 for that kilometer. When they cross, they're going to see the big number 2 there in red with 2 laps to go.
And what does that mean, David? It means we want the crowd to get into this. It's a crowded field at the front. You can help them. Many are looking to do a PR here.
It's Joseph Andrews, Bethel, Maine, has taken the lead and is pushing the pace. Noah Gady, Stillwater, Oklahoma, continues to chase. Gady has been pretty much in second or third, no matter who's led.
Is this the move then, David?
I think this is. I think this will be a defining move right here. Joseph Andrews, Bethel, Maine. He has strung out the field on the back stretch. Noah Gady, the closest to covering that move right now. 600 meters left in the race.
It had to happen. But that's the beauty of this. There's so much to distance racing.
So twice now, we've seen people coming from farther back in the pack with a big move later in the race, changing the face of the race. Interesting to see how that will apply in our championship sections.
This is the bell.
It's coming up. $13.52 for Joseph Andrews, Bethel, Maine. Noah Gady, Stillwater, Oklahoma, in second. Joseph Andrews is trying to get away right now, once and for all.
And David, look at those in third, fourth and fifth.
The move is happening, but is it too little too late? Can Andrews hold on from out in front? Here they come, into the home stretch. Make some noise, folks.
This is where they find something.
Great time. Andrews, Gady, Colin Tierney from way back getting into the mix. Brent Kennedy coming up. Tierney actually coming up for second, slightly ahead of Gage. All right, we've gotten a taste of some great racing with potential for much more coming right up. Ian, now is your moment to introduce that fastest section of the ladies.